What's up, folks? Hope you're all doing well. Now today I'm bringing you another Wealth Mountain update. I'm gonna continue the talk about the road to self-sustainability. I'm gonna cover quickly both V1 and the upcoming V2 in regards to how they interact with each other and why both of them are really important for the health of the protocol. And I'm gonna go over an update on the portfolio dashboard as well, alongside all the new additions that the team has brought in. So don't go anywhere. Okay, so let's talk about the few changes that have already been pushed and what we have coming up. So the team has mentioned that they are gonna roll out a new update, a new rebrand of the whole website altogether with the launch of V2, and they actually right now pushed a sneak peek of how things will look like and how things will move forward from here. So I'm gonna go over to the portfolio dashboard. So we're still within the same basically reach that we were previously. Now, of course, since I covered this, the TVL did a small bounce back, and now it retraced a bit because a few whales have collected their dividends. But on the bright side, the portfolio value has increased quite well. So I think it's about a 20% increase ever since I covered this, maybe a bit more even. So I showed you last time and the time before that how to track the holding. So if you click on this, it will take you to the actual Wealth Mountain portfolio, and you can actually know that it's them based on the logo, and they have been identified with their Twitter tag, all of this good stuff. So before jumping into the updates on the front end of the portfolio dashboard and all the investments, I'm just gonna go back and show you whatever they added here. So let's scroll a bit. So they also added this because even though it was there, they want to show new users how the protocol interacts when new people enter and old people exit. So how all of the protocol acts when it comes to its state and when it comes to its sustainability. So right now, all of the launchpad monitoring in regards to whatever they are in, they put all the launchpads below, but right now they are only invested in CDFI and BSCPad. So my basic assumption is that they will jump the gun on whatever we see here. So meaning Unicrypt DX sale, so we're gonna see what happens. They have also added a small section for ads coming in from other protocols, and of course there are revenues that these guys are paying Wealth Mountain and the team to post their ad here, because there's a lot of, I think there's about 8,000 to 10,000 daily visits. So the website is getting a lot of traction, and that is increasing. So the ad revenues are gonna basically fuel the portfolio, fuel the investments, and of course there's gonna be a small portion that will go back to the team, but that is very normal. So below that, you're gonna see that they also reshuffled how the different investments in the different protocols look like. And at the bottom of all of this is what I wanted to show you. That's the main thing, is that those liquidity injections are gonna be set on a roadmap, and those mainly impact V2. So what's gonna happen here is that they will do a month by month recap, and it's gonna be a 1 month in, 1 month out. So they will gather earnings. Now how they gather their earnings, where are these earnings coming from, which protocols they're gonna take money from initially. I think the transaction hashes are gonna show the total amount that's supposed to be distributed to V2 holders and where is it coming from. So of course you can track all of this down. If you have the hashes, you can see based on their investments where this money is coming from, and they will airdrop the profits proportionally based on the amount that you hold. Let's assume we're talking about avalanche holders. So let's say there was about 150k. So if you hold for example 15k out of this 150k, so you're entitled to 10% of the profits that are going to be distributed. So applying this ratio here, that's 5,000 that will go to you. and that is gonna happen on a month in, month out. So month they distribute, month they put back, they put the brakes on distribution and go back to growing the investment portfolio, and so on and so forth. So this is what we know right now. Now, of course, they're gonna rebrand everything, and it's gonna look perhaps simpler to people, and they're gonna be tracking their potential earnings when it comes to it. Alright, so jumping over to my investment sheet. Now, last time I did change the outlet a bit, I rebranded it. And today I added in column C all the new capital that the project has invested in, and there's about 142k. So again, I'm pulling this from their investment portfolio dashboard. So the majority of this amount went to stable fund. Now stable fund has been actually doing good returns as of late. So their static is 1.5% a day. And you can clearly see the jump if you want to go a bit higher than the safety returns, which is still under high risk, need I remind you. So nothing is guaranteed in this category right here, but this is the potential safest return, and then you have excess and moon returns. So we can near almost 2 million if that were to happen, and the moon returns we're doing 4 million already. So that's a bit out of the blue, but again, anything could happen, keep that in mind. And they also added about 15.5k in Furio. Furio has been holding really well. Their LMS is working, increasing, and they're having external revenues that are coming up soon that will feed that LMS and keep that money flowing. Now, I also have a video about Furio that basically puts all the newest updates and everything in a small package. So if you want to update yourself on how they're doing, what do they have coming up, so you can check that video out. They also added 2 new investments, one in DMountain. DMountain is similar to Avarice in a sense where you enter daily auctions for BNB or BUSD, and then you get in return their native token called DMount. And then based on the activity and the participation, based on a day-to-day basis, your returns will be accurate. Now, unfortunately, I could not, and I don't think there's a possibility to get an honest approximate number. Is going to be a range altogether, so I decided not to enter anything here, but of course I'm going to update this as I go forward. BLX and BUSD hike is the only Wealth Mountain fork that is endorsed by Wealth Mountain. As you can see, they funded them. They're their first angel investment, and they also invested in their separate protocol. They entered with 5,000, and this one has a static return that is a maximum of 7,150. I'm talking about profits. So those are the profits that they intend to make. Now, of course, I showed you this for a moment, but if we're talking about amount collected, it's gonna be 12,150. So they entered with 5k. There's a 10% in, 10% out, and that's the amount you end up with at the end of the day after incorporating the taxes and so on. So this is static. There's not gonna be any. I'm gonna just update this value here. I just wanted to show you at the beginning that in profit wise, it's gonna be 7k. So I think that investment wasn't entirely made to actually pull out extensive returns. It was just made to support their angel investment and also make some money in return. So it's a win-win situation if you really think about it. Now that is our investment portfolio right now. Now again, this part right here, so the injection roadmap that they added and the profits that they intend to get. So this number apparently has been fixed, but everything that is coming up is to be decided. So I'm really curious to see where this 50,000 BUSD is going to be pulled from, which list. I think it's going to be mainly from the high risk part. So most probably stable fund will have the majority of the profits pulled out from, but let's see. I'm really curious actually. And also, last thing I want to mention is that even though we are pushing to V2, keep in mind that both V1 and V2 are very, very important for a protocol, because V2 wouldn't have happened without V1. V1 fed V2 and the investment portfolio from all the taxes upon staking and unstaking from their protocol, right? So V1 is something that enabled V2 at the end of the day. So there are pros when it comes to high returns and fast entry and exit. So you enter, you exit within the same moment if you need to. Okay, you pay the fees, but it's very quick. and you can get up to 5% after 50 days. So the returns are really enticing to enter. So there's always gonna be this privilege in entering V1, but keep in mind that it is the highest, it's at the highest risk if you want to compare it to V2, and it's very high risk anyways. 5% is no joke, so we're talking a day. So that is a bit of an outreach at the end of the day. So there's always going to be the possibility to enter V1 even though V2 is coming up, and I'm sure many people will do so, including myself of course, but having a portion and having a position in V2 is also important if you're the type of person who actually cares about longevity overall. If that's what you want to achieve, constant returns, even though they're going to be diminished. Yeah, there's a slower progression, that's the con, but still you're getting something, and then it is perhaps the safest route that you can actually take, so your returns are kind of safe. And actually concerning the initial, I'm not quite sure, I'm going to be honest with you, because all the people who have been invested in V1 and on Avalanche, Phantom, ETH, as well as Polygon, have their initial kind of forfeited because there's no longer a TVL in those chains. So anyway, now we're gonna get money versus our initial. So we're getting profits versus whatever we entered. So perhaps if people want to enter V2 on its own, it's gonna be something similar. So they enter, but they can only collect dividends and profits directly into their wallets regardless of their entry, and they cannot take it back. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but we'll see. So I think there's gonna be also a separate entry to V2, so you can enter V2 yourself with an amount of money, and perhaps all of this money in this case, if you're not gonna get it back, is gonna be invested in the investment portfolio. So whenever I'm gonna get new updates on this, of course I'm gonna make a video and always keep you up to date with how Wealth Mountain is performing. Alright, that's it from me today. Thank you for sticking around and listening to everything I had to say. Now, I really hope I brought you some value with whatever I just showed you, whatever I just explained. And I'm really glad that you're sticking around with the project, because it's actually one of the most transparent ones as of late, and I can say that straight away. So whatever ends up happening, at least honesty and transparency was there. So that is two qualities, or we can merge them into one quality that is very rare in this space, so always keep that in mind. Also, a sub to the channel would be amazing. It really gives us new content creators around the block more value and more motivation in order to dish out in return more value and better content for everyone. So thank you and appreciate you in advance. And if you really like this type of content about Wealth Mountain or everything else in DeFi, be sure to leave a like on those videos. If you do like the video, of course, do not like for the sake of liking. As always, take care of your finances and trade responsibly. This was Roy with DeFi Ascension. Thanks for watching.